This woman had just bought a glamorous fur coat. But little did she know, as soon as they stepped out of the store, they ran into a group of animal rights activists. Before they could even dodge, they were doused head to toe with a bucket of paint. Just a few days prior, they were just your average family. That is, until they hit a $4 million lottery jackpot and gave $2 million of it to a random waitress. Their story spread like wildfire across all of New York. But unlike the Jack couple, Amy didn't start splurging just because she suddenly got rich. She paid off all her debts, finalized her divorce, and started enjoying the single life. She even bought the restaurant she worked at, so she wouldn't have to put up with her boss's criticism anymore. In the corner of the restaurant, she even set up a table named after Jack, dedicated to providing free meals for those who were broke. Meanwhile, Jack was still holding down his job as a cop. During one mission to subdue a criminal, Jack got shot in the arm. Just like that, Jack, who had recently made headlines for the lottery story, was back in the papers again. In the heat of the moment, Jack took it upon himself to donate $10,000 to a foundation. His wife's face instantly darkened when she heard the news. Perhaps as a way to get back at Jack, when he returned home that day, he discovered that his wife had torn down and rebuilt their house without his consent. She wanted to create her own palace to assert her dominance. She even threw out Jack's favorite couch. When Jack asked her about it in confusion, she straight up said,
"Why should I? You're the one that loves to give everything away."
On this day, the lottery company was hosting a luxurious cruise ship party. Almost all the attendees were the cream of the crop in society. The wife was in awe of this kind of scene. In no time, she hit it off with a veteran investor, hoping he could help her make even more money. But Jack didn't vibe with this type of environment. He walked to the edge of the ship to catch some air. When he turned his head, he saw Amy rushing over. She had been held up because her driver didn't have change. Jack suddenly stepped in to help her out. They had just exchanged a few words when the cruise ship started to depart. They ran to catch up to it, but the ship had already sailed away. Amy hurriedly apologized to Jack, saying she didn't mean to ruin his date with his wife, but Jack brushed it off, saying, "He's glad I'm not there." And just as Jack said, his wife was having a blast with the investor on the dance floor. Jack and Amy had no choice but to grab a bite at the restaurant while waiting for the ship to return. They also started their first real conversation. Maybe it was the alcohol, but even though they had only met 3 times, there was always this inexplicable sense of familiarity. They made their way to the edge of the dance floor and slow danced in each other's arms. The intimate vibe drew them closer and closer. But Jack suddenly snapped back to his senses. When he finally found his wife, she hadn't even noticed he'd been gone from the ship all night. The wife had already been successfully brainwashed by the investor. She excitedly told Jack about the investment plan she had just worked out, but they had never understood investing. Jack flat out rejected it. Seeing her idea get shut down, the wife started venting her anger for no reason. She would randomly throw out Jack's clothes and curse at him for always spreading his incomprehensible kindness. And this time, the wife decided to lay all her cards on the table with Jack.
I want a divorce. I have wings, darling. I want to fly.